Have you ever wondered how one small decision could completely change your entire life? Most people spend years chasing success, but sometimes success begins with a single moment of honesty. This is the story of a 16-year-old boy named Ethan, a boy who had almost nothing, yet ended up gaining everything. Ethan lived with his mother in a tiny apartment on the east side of Chicago. Their home was old, the paint on the walls was peeling, and every winter, cold air found its way through the broken windows. Life had never been easy for them. Ethan's father had passed away when he was only 11 years old, leaving his mother to work two exhausting jobs just to keep a roof over their heads. Even then, there were nights when the refrigerator held almost nothing but milk and bread. Sometimes his mother pretended she wasn't hungry, just so Ethan could eat the last sandwich. Ethan noticed everything, even though she never admitted it. Every morning, before the sun came up, while most teenagers were still asleep, Ethan climbed onto his old rusty bicycle and delivered newspapers across the neighborhood. The freezing wind often made his hands numb, but he never complained. Every dollar mattered. Every tip meant another meal. Every extra delivery brought hope, despite all the hardships. Ethan had one dream. He wanted to become an engineer. He imagined building bridges, designing buildings, and one day buying his mother a beautiful house where she would never have to worry about bills again. But dreams were expensive, and reality was cruel. One cold Monday morning, snow covered the sidewalks, and the streets were unusually quiet. Ethan was finishing his last newspaper delivery when something near a wooden park bench caught his attention. At first, he ignored it, but something made him stop. He walked closer. It was a black leather wallet. It looked expensive, almost brand new. He picked it up carefully and looked around. No one was there. The park was completely empty. Curiosity got the better of him. Slowly, he opened it. His heart almost stopped. Inside were thick bundles of $100 bills. Not a few $100s. Thousands. More money than Ethan had ever seen in his entire life. His breathing became heavier. He counted quickly. $5,000, along with several credit cards, business cards, and a driver's license. There was also a small family photograph tucked inside one of the pockets. An elderly man smiled beside two young girls. Everyone looked happy. For a long moment, Ethan simply stared at the money. His mind began racing. $5,000 could change everything. His mother wouldn't have to skip meals anymore. The rent could be paid for months. He could finally replace his broken bicycle. Maybe even save enough money to start college. He looked around again. Still, no one. No security cameras. No witnesses. His heart whispered one thing. Take it. His conscience whispered another. Someone is desperately looking for this. He stood frozen in the snow. The cold wind blew harder. But it wasn't the weather making him shake anymore. It was the decision he was about to make. Slowly, he placed the wallet inside his backpack, then climbed back onto his bicycle. As he rode away, the backpack suddenly felt heavier than it ever had before. Not because of the money, but because of the weight of the choice. All day at school, Ethan couldn't focus. His teacher asked him a question. He didn't even hear it. His best friend Jake noticed something was wrong. After class, Jake followed him outside. "What's going on with you today?" he asked. Ethan looked around to make sure no one else was listening. Then he opened his backpack and showed Jake the wallet. Jake's eyes grew wide. "No way. Is that real?" Ethan nodded silently. Jake grabbed the wallet and looked inside. The moment he saw the cash, he couldn't believe it. Dude, you're rich. No, Ethan replied quietly. This isn't my money. Jake laughed. It is now.